that?
I don't know.
What was that? I don't know. Yeah, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Remain standing for a moment of silent prayer. Thank you. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. I want to welcome everybody to the Tuesday, August 1st, 2023 meeting of the Board of Mayor and Aldermen. We're going to have a roll call. Ward 1, Ms. Gamble is here. Ward 2, Mr. Richardson's here. Ward 3, Mr. LaFontaine's here. Ward 4, Mr. Clark's here. City Secretary Clerk Lisa Blanchard, the Mayor, and City Attorney Ronnie Ortiz. Under Mayor's comments, go ahead.
You want to do that one first? Yeah. Okay. So we have acknowledged receipt of 3 proposals for insurance services. We received proposals from Betts and Rossetti, from Cadence Insurance, and from
Cadence.
what's the third one?
Cadence.
Cadence
From
and
Texas. It's called
McGriff Insurance Company. So if you would, you just need a motion to acknowledge receipt and to take them under advisement pending your review and scoring of the proposals.
I'll move.
I'll second it.
Ward 1 moves, Ward 3 seconds. Any discussion? Go ahead and vote. Ward 1?
Yes.
2? Yes. 3?
Yes.
4.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. Under Mayor's comments, Employee of the Month. The first meeting of every month, we recognize a city employee has gone above and beyond. And for this month, it's Lisa Parker, who works for the police department over on McLaurin. Come on up, Lisa. In the past month, Lisa submitted about 3 different grants for funding for different projects for the police department. So she's gone above and beyond. We have party gifts. Turn the mic
Thank you.
Thank you. Our lettering is off tonight, but the next one will be Ms. Lynn Narcan to speak about the September being Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month.
I'm used to not having an audience to my back. My name is Lynn Narcan. I'm a 2-time ovarian cancer survivor. I'm also the advocate for the state of Mississippi in advocacy and speak to the people in Washington to get money for ovarian cancer and all gynecological cancers. We speak to both senators, I think 2 or 3 senators and representatives from the state of Mississippi when it comes to voting on monies for ovarian cancer and gynecological cancer. And so far, we've done good. We've gotten what we've asked for. And they have asked us to come to our city council and ask you all to declare September Ovarian Cancer Month. It's also Gynecological Cancer Month, so it's a big deal. Many people know about breast cancer in September, but we call ovarian cancer the silent disease because you really don't know you have it, and you could have it for many years before you're diagnosed. There is no test for ovarian cancer. And our color is teal. So everybody thinks cancer color is pink, but that is only breast cancer. Every cancer has its color. So I want to tell you a little bit about ovarian cancer. It's the 5th leading cause of death of women in the United States, of all the gynecological cancers. Usually women between 56 and 68 are detected with it. There is no test for ovarian cancer. The money we ask for goes for research and for the women that have it, to help Medicaid. I also work for LSU. I shouldn't say I work for LSU. I work for LSU, but I don't get paid. I'm a volunteer for LSU, and we raise money for a foundation, for LSU Health Foundation, for indigent women at UMC, to give them care, not doctors, payments, not medical supplies, care, rides to and from the hospital, babysitters, caretakers. We even put a husband up in a hotel room because we found out he was sleeping in the car. And that's what this foundation is built on. And the foundation is called give.lsuhealthfoundation.com/TLT. There will be a TLT in Kenner this year. Last year we had it in Diamond Head and we did very well. It was our first year. And we had 100 people, and this year we're hoping for 200 people, and to make about 40 to 50,000 for these indigent women. I have cards, I'm gonna leave some in the back, that tell you there's no cure, there's no testing, but it also gives you the symptoms and what to avoid to not have ovarian cancer. I was diagnosed almost 5 years ago. I had it the first time, I was diagnosed February 19th. I went through 6 rounds of chemo, surgery, and then more chemo. And 15 months later, I was diagnosed again, and it was inoperable. So I went through 5 more rounds of chemo. So if I forget anything today, it's my chemo brain. It's strictly chemo brain, it never leaves you. So anyway, I would like the city of Waveland to recognize that ovarian cancer is a killer. It's a killer of women. And you should be tested, men and women, for genetically to see if you carry the gene, the BRCA gene that would suffice any sexual organ that you have, men and women. It can be passed on. It's a 50% chance. If I had it, it's 50% chance that my children would be carriers, including men. If I had a boy, I have 2 girls, and I'm not BRCA positive, thank the Lord. But, so we, through OKRA, which is Ovarian Cancer Research Alliance, we would like the city of Waveland to paint the town teal for September, whether it's with flags or with the proclamation or anything we can do to make this more noticeable, more real, like breast cancer is, because more women die of ovarian cancer than of breast cancer. Breast cancer has a test. We don't. We only have symptoms, and those symptoms sometimes run together, and you think that you have a backache, so you go to one doctor, and you have reflux, and you go to another doctor. It goes on and on what the symptoms are, and sometimes the doctors don't put them together. I also speak to the doctors at LSU that are doing their rotations. Every 6 weeks, we have an organization called Survivors Teaching Students, and we do Zooms with all the doctors at LSU in New Orleans and Baton Rouge, and we tell them our story. We tell them just what happened to us, and to let them know, even if they're going to be an orthopedic, what to look for in ovarian cancer. Because my backache could have been solved by an orthopedic telling me that I think you have something wrong with your ovaries rather than your back going on. So, but nonetheless. So I've never done this before, so Jay, do you have
Just
to?
need a motion.
No. We're
I'm
gonna see
sorry.
if somebody will make a motion to recognize September. as
I will
Ovarian Cancer.
move, yes.
Ward one moves and Ward four seconds. Any discussion? All right, we're gonna vote that September is Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month in the city of Waveland. Ward one,
Yes.
Ward two,
Yes.
Ward three,
Yes.
four.
Yes.
All right, motion carries 4-0. Thank you, Liz.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I'm gonna give you all each one of my cards.
Okay.
If you or anyone you know has ovarian cancer and
Thank
they
you.
need a lift, give me a call. I can help them.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. The symptoms are on the other side of the card.
All right. Thanks, Liz.
And if anybody else wants one, I'll leave them on the table outside the door. Thank you all very,
All
very
right.
much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, I need a motion to amend and finalize the agenda with the addition of items 7H, 7I, 7J, and 7K under board business.
I'll move.
Ward four moves.
2 second.
Ward two seconds. Any discussion? Let's vote. One,
Yes.
two,
Yes.
three,
Yes.
four.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. One other thing I just want to mention, everybody in Waveland always asks me about the apartments on Waveland Avenue. The apartments are under contract to be sold. There was a due diligence period that ended July 21st. It's a rough financing world out there right now. The new owners are struggling, like a lot of people. We have some other projects in Waveland that people want to come in, but financing is tough right now, and interest rate went up again last month. So the prospective owners have asked for another 30 days of due diligence to get their financing in order. Everything else is agreed upon, they're just trying to get their financing in order. So come August 21st, we should know if there's a new owner for the apartments on Waveland Avenue. So I just wanted to update you guys. Also, the playground equipment, we spoke about it last month, where we have a quote for $35,000 to fix the playground equipment after an unfortunate accident over there where a man ran through the 10x10s, the chain link fence, and wound up on the playground equipment. So we found another company that we were just waiting to get a quote. So hopefully we can move forward with that.
Can I make a comment on that?
Sure.
Briefly? I think we need to find in the meantime, yeah, I know y'all said there's no way to take to separate the broken pieces, but we need to find a way to secure that a little better. The
Okay.
past 2 times I've driven by, there've been children playing on the equipment.
Okay.
So that, caution tape isn't stopping
Yeah,
people.
I'll talk to Willie, we can put some barricades around it, and hopefully, they can climb over the barricades, but
Right.
it'll be better than the caution tape, so. Okay. All right, moving along, item 5, Alderman's comments, Ward 1, Ms. Gamble.
I've got a few. To the alderman and mayor, did you receive an email from gorail.org with regard to 18-wheelers, the increase in the weight of 18-wheelers? That's a little concerning to me, because I know, we already have problems keeping up our roads and our bridges and everything, and if they increase the weight of those 18-wheelers by over,
2,000 pounds.
yeah, like over 14% they're increasing them. So the reason I bring that up is because I think maybe we ought to look into considering an ordinance, if nothing else, about where they can go and where they can't go within the city.
Such as your own weight limits on city roads and possibly no truck routes.
Yes,
You can do that.
okay, fantastic.
We already have a no truck route in place in most areas for no trucks, but weight limits, we've never addressed that.
Okay. You can
Okay.
address it if you want to do so, you can do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll look into it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, the next thing that I've got is something that I tripped over. I didn't go out looking to do this, and it just was a happy coincidence. I had a resident contact me a couple of days ago. She contacted me actually Friday, and it was after hours, so I couldn't talk to anybody until Monday morning. So on Monday, I went and spoke with Julie in the utility department because it was a utility issue. She, of course, immediately straightened it out. And one of the questions was, can we get our billing online? Can we pay online? And so Julie said we've been looking into that for a while, and so we know that BBI handles our software system. So she made I asked her to make a phone call to BBI and just to get an idea of how much it would cost to get us online. $250, they can have us online before you blink. They can have us online. You can have your utility bills real time, and you'll be able to pay your utility bills online, and they'll show up posted to your account. They say within 48 hours, but it usually just takes a few hours. Personally, I think it's a no-brainer. I think we need to jump on it. $250 is just crazy.
That's just a one-time thing?
It's a one-time thing, yeah.
There's
Now,
no
what
monthly
they,
service fees or?
no monthly service fees. What they do, to pay online, a person would pay a fee, the resident would pay a fee for the convenience of paying your bill online. And it would be, I think it's something like 3% or whatever. But there's a contract, there's, it says what the fee is, and it's just a setup fee is all it is. And they can get us going quickly. They also, while we were at it, we asked about going paperless, and say, because it's steady going up, our postage is steady going up. We're paying 38.388 cents per card mailed out. We can have, if a person would sign up for paperless, it would cost us 36.36 per individual. So what I'd like to do, if y'all don't mind, I'd like to make a motion that we authorize the mayor to go over the contract, and if everything's in line with the attorney, that he sign it and get us signed up.
I'll second that.
All right, Ward 1 makes a motion, Ward 2 seconds. Any further discussion? All right, let's go ahead and vote. Ward 1?
Yes.
2?
Yes.
3?
Yes.
4?
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
Thank y'all very much. I think that's gonna help a lot of citizens in the city. Okay, there's one other thing that I've got, and I'm gonna make this as quick and as painless as possible. I was gonna save this for later, but I really need to do it during my comments so that it's uninterrupted. I'd like to point out that something occurred at one of the P&Z meetings that disturbed me, and I feel the need to address it. The first thing I want to say is that when the Planning and Zoning Commission makes a decision and they make their recommendation to this elected board, their obligation for that particular case is over. Unfortunately, they decided not to do that with a case or two. They were not happy with the decision that was made on a case that we decided to, instead of giving a person 5 feet, we gave them 10 feet. Instead of being 5 feet away from the fence, we made them told them they could be 10 feet away from the fence. That gave some people heartburn. Mr. Theroff addressed the planning and zoning and said that gave him big heartburn, and that was a personal decision for me. It was personal for me. Well, first of all, it wasn't personal for me. What I said was personally, which meant that I was speaking for me and not these gentlemen. I speak for me, I don't speak for them. They're smart, they stay on top of things, they know what they're doing, they make their own decisions, I don't influence that. So, that being said, the chair of the Planning and Zoning Commission brought up that, well, let me tell you exactly what was said, because I've got the quote. Well, I think there are certain aldermen who don't want to grant any variances. Well, that's not true. And to prove that to you, let me give you a little statistic. Since January of this year, there have been 15 people who went to the Planning and Zoning Commission requesting either a variance or they had a request for planning and zoning that they had to go before them. They had 15 of them. Of those 15, 3 of them withdrew their request. That left 12. Of the 12, 1 of them was turned down because he didn't show up to the meeting and somebody spoke up against his request. So that one, the Planning and Zoning Commission turned him down. That leaves 11. Of those 11 that are left, all 11 of them passed. All of them. Of those 11, only 1 had any change to any request that was made by the person making the request originally. Just 1. And that 1 was over 5 feet. That gave them heartburn. And that gave them the authority to think that we're trying to run ramshot over somebody. So let me say this, and I'm going to leave it alone. When I decided to run for alderman, I started going door to door, and I did that for 6 months. And I went to most houses in Ward 1 6 times. So much that people, when I'd walk up to the door, people would go, "You again?" I talked to everybody that would talk back to me. And the number 1 problem that these people in Ward 1 had was the fact that we are not enforcing our ordinances. That we're allowing people to do whatever they request and not following our own ordinance. Our ordinance sets limits. I'm not against giving variances. Of those 11, 3 of them, I made the motion to pass it. I'm not against giving variances, but I'm not for the Waveland being taken advantage of. So when the ordinance says you get a certain amount and you're asking that of that 100% that I give you 75% of it off, I can't do that in good conscience. That's too far away from what our ordinance tells us to do. That's where I stand on that. That's what I ran on. That's what the people of Ward 1 elected me to do. I take that job very seriously. On January 3rd of this year, I took an oath to not only abide by the Constitution and uphold the Constitution of the United States and the state of Mississippi, but also enforce the ordinances of the city. And I take that serious. And if somebody has a heartburn over it, sorry. I don't make any apologies for it. If I vote no for something, I'm gonna vote no, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm not gonna pick on anybody. I'm not gonna have favorites. I promise you. If I vote no, you're going to know why I'm voting no. But remember, of all those 11 that came before us, all 11 passed. Okay, I'm done. I'm off the soapbox.
No.
Thank you, Ms. Campbell.
You're welcome.
Mr. Richardson?
I don't know if I want to say nothing now. I only have one thing. I want to make a motion to amend the agenda to add my new P and Z representative, Dave Cornfoot,
Okay,
I'll second it.
all right.
and that's all I have.
We're gonna do that under consent?
It could be,
wanna do it?
Oh,
it could be included in the same motion.
Okay,
You
yeah.
can do it all in one, amend the agenda and approve him as the appointment in this same motion.
Okay, so we can go ahead and vote on it?
Yep.
You got the motion and approval? All right, any discussion? All right, let's go ahead and vote. Ward one?
Yes.
2,
Yes.
3?
Yes.
4?
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. That's it, Bob?
That's it.
All right, Mr. LaFontaine?
Mayor, I addressed mine with you yesterday.
Okay.
We're good.
Thank you, sir. Ward 4, Mr. Clark?
All I had was the playground equipment, so we're
Okay.
good.
All right, thank you. All right, moving on, board business. Motion to approve the depository docket of claims paid and unpaid dated August 1st, 2023, in the amount of $568,157.91.
I'll move.
Ward 1 moves.
Ward 2, second?
Ward 2 seconds. Any discussion? Let's vote. Ward 1?
Yes.
2,
Yes.
3,
Yes.
4.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. Item B, motion to approve the operating utilities docket of claims paid and unpaid dated August 1st, 2023, in the amount of $76,496.20.
I'll move.
Ward 3 moves.
I'll second.
Ward 4 seconds. Discussion? Let's vote. Ward 1?
Yes.
2,
Yes.
3,
Yes.
4. Motion
Yes.
carries 4-0. Motion to accept final design of the Garfield Ladner Memorial Pier by Kenichi Engineering and Surveying. I realize that y'all don't have the final drawings. It's not that much different. I went over it with Jason last Thursday. The structure's gonna remain the same. The railings are gonna be replaced by aluminum railings instead of wood. And then the
Decking.
mitigation's gonna be the sheet pile around the base. So the design is completed. Jason will be here at our next meeting on August 16th with the bid specs. We'll vote on it on August 16th to put it out to bid.
What about the decking on it, Mayor? I know at one point it was talked about doing a flow-through decking or
You
going
can't
back
do, you
with.
can't do it, Jane, because it's continuous pour concrete. So the pilings and the decking are all poured into one.
Okay.
At the outrigger spots where you fish, they do have some precast concrete that comes in big blocks that they lay down, and then they put a small layer of concrete on top of it. So, I mean, if we're gonna lose a pier in the future, we want the whole thing to be gone, so then we could redesign it. But, you know, FEMA's only gonna give us the money for what
What was there?
Yeah.
what was there before. Okay, so someone make a motion to accept the final design.
I'll move.
Ward 4 moves.
Ward 2, second?
Ward 2 seconds, any discussion? Let's go ahead and vote. Ward 1?
Yes.
2,
Yes.
3,
Yes.
4.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. Motion to approve closure of North Beach Boulevard from Terrace Street to Coleman Avenue on Sunday, September 3rd, 2023, from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. for a Labor Day event at the
I'll
Lighthouse.
move.
Ward 3 moves.
I'll second.
Ward 4 seconds. Any discussion? Let's go ahead and vote. Ward 1,
Yes.
2,
Yes.
3,
Yes.
4.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. Motion to approve Mayor Jay Trapani as the City of Waveland FEMA applicant agent for public assistance and authorize the mayor's signature on necessary paperwork.
I'll move.
Ward
Ward
3
2
moves.
second.
Ward 2 seconds. Any discussion? Let's vote. Ward 1?
Yes.
2,
Yes.
3,
Yes.
4.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. Motion to approve the following forms, included required signatures for the HB 603 Department of Finance and Administration line item appropriation to the City of Waveland in the amount of $250,000 designated for infrastructure improvements.
Move.
Ward 1 moves.
Second.
Ward 3 seconds. Any discussion?
Do we have any projects that we've decided
No.
on for this yet?
Not at this time. We have projects.
Oh, I know
just
we have
We just
projects.
haven't designated any for this 250,000.
Okay.
Okay. All right, let's go ahead and vote. Ward 1,
Yes.
2,
Yes.
3,
Yes.
4.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. Motion to approve Ms. Kristen Tusa to hold the Waveland Veterans Parade on Saturday, November 11th, 2023 at 11 a.m. The parade will start at Coleman and Central intersections and end at the Veterans Memorial and Beach Boulevard and Coleman Avenue.
I'll
Ms.
move.
Tusa will coordinate the police and fire department, no cost. Ward 4 moves. Ward 3
Three.
moves.
I'll second.
Ward 4 seconds. Any discussion? Let's vote. Ward one?
Yes.
Two?
Yes.
Three?
Yes.
Four.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you.
Motion to approve court clerk Rhonda Cummings to attend the Municipal Court Clerks Conference September 20th through 22nd, 2023 in Philadelphia, Mississippi. There will be no cost to the city. The Mississippi Municipal Court Clerks Association covers all costs.
I'll move.
Ward four
I'll
moves.
second it.
Ward three seconds. Any discussion? Let's vote. Ward one?
Yes.
Two?
Yes.
Three?
Yes.
Four.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. Motion to approve abandonment, okay, sorry. Motion to approve abandonment of undeveloped right-of-way adjacent to the property line of 904 Chris Street, parcel 162B-03-098.000, owned by Dustin LaFontaine. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Ward three moves.
I'll second.
Ward four seconds. Any discussion?
Now, I just have a couple of questions.
Okay.
So, that property, there's several blocks, it looks like, of that road. So that's just
So
that one
only the
block where
undeveloped-
he is?
Yes, only the undeveloped portion, and we have already researched and verified, we do not have any utilities in there, nor a need for it.
Okay.
And we verified and searched the land records to make sure he is the only property owner on both sides, so we didn't need the consent from anybody else.
Sounds good,
And
that's,
just one question, I know as far as turning over that property to him, is there any monetary value that we have to receive, or can we,
No, because it's just an abandonment of an unopened road.
and
You do
we're
not.
going on tax rolls anyway, so we'll,
Correct.
okay.
Okay. Any further discussion? No, we have the motion.
yes.
All right, let's go ahead and vote. Ward one,
Yes,
two,
Yes.
four.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-0. Motion to approve abandonment of undeveloped right-of-way adjacent to the property line of 120 Seabrook Street, parcel 161B-0-01-019.009, owned by John Picciola.
I'll move.
I'll
Ward
second
one
it.
moves.
I'll second
Ward
it.
3 seconds. Any discussion? Let's vote. Ward one?
Yes.
Two?
Yes.
Three?
Yes.
Four.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0. Item K, motion to approve change order number one, accepting alternate number one in the amount of $8,650 from Abercrombie Underground Solutions regarding the Highway 90 Jordan River Gas Line Crossing Repairs Project.
I'll move.
I'll second.
And that should be in the amount not to exceed $86.50, because
Okay.
it could actually be less.
Okay.
And this is for a wire that needs to be run under the boring to go along with it that was not included or
Locate.
foreseen until Jason.
Locate what?
No, not a concession.
Okay.
Yeah,
If we don't do that, we have to spend $50,000 for a handle date
yeah,
in there.
but we got a motion to
Okay.
approve.
So we got a motion and a second. Let's go ahead and vote. Ward one?
Yeah.
Two?
Yes.
Three?
Yes.
Four.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
Mr. Trapani, before you move on, there was one thing, I see the fire department's back there and the police department. Can I say one thing for them? This weekend, on Sunday, we did a little event out on the beach, and it was to do free snowballs for kids. The fire department came out, they put a water wall up, the kids had a great time. They went through the fire trucks and the police cars, they had the service dog out there, the police dog was out there. Even the sheriff's department came and showed up to join in. It was a lot of fun. I think the adults had as much fun as the kids did. And the firemen had so much fun that they've started talking about how we're gonna do it next year and how they want it bigger. So I just wanna officially thank y'all so much for making that so much fun for those kids. I really appreciate it, the fire department and the police department.
And Ms. Gamble solicited funds from citizens to offset the cost to the people who own the Bayou Snowball. So, thank you, Rhonda.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
All right, moving on to planning and zoning. Charles Kinnaman, owner of the property commonly known as 4327 Caspian Street, has made an application to use an RV during the construction of his primary house. Mr. Kinnaman came to see me. He's in the annexed area. With the sewer project we have going on in the annex area, we've had a lot of theft. The contractor has lost thousands of dollars worth of equipment. So I thought it was in our best interest. I gave him permission till it was able to be voted on by you guys to park his RV. His son's living in the RV as a complete construction of their home. So tonight I'd like to make it official. Will you, somebody make a motion that we allow him to live in his home, follow the P and Z's recommendation.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Ward 2 moves, Ward 2 seconds. Any discussion?
I got
I think we all have a question. Go ahead.
So how long has he been there already?
Mr.
Because what-
Kinnaman, please state your name, please, for the record.
Charles Kenneman Senior. The thing was there, been there about a year.
Okay,
And, we're working on a house as we get the money and trying to finish it up as soon as possible. Like I told you last time, and, I don't know what else to say, except I'm trying to get it done. And then we did have a lot of trouble with people around there messing with stuff.
all right. How many, is there more than one motorhome on the property that somebody's living
There
in?
was another one, we got rid of that. It was
Okay.
junk.
Okay,
But this is one of them.
okay.
Yes, the permit's for 180 days.
Yeah, for the RV, where do you stand on getting in the house?
You mean to get it finished?
Mm-hmm.
Or it's gonna probably be a while.
Because if the RV's only there for 180 days, you got 6 months to finish the house. That's why I'm asking.
Can I get an extension on that, maybe like?
Oh,
And that's the question.
You've
I
already
was-
been there a year.
Yeah.
That's the question I was looking at, because it states, you'll extend the permits as many times as you need. I mean, there is an ordinance of 180 days. I mean, I understand that, yeah, this day and time, it takes the money to get it done, so.
And by this time, I mean, by the end of this one, you will have been in the trailer for a year and a half.
Yeah.
So, I mean, with, 2 of which were without permit. So the point is, you know, I don't mind extending, and this is my personal opinion, I don't want anybody accusing me of talking for anybody else. For me, 180 days, I have no problem with that. And I will vote on that. I'll have to really think hard about doing an extension on that, because it's been so long.
Right.
I know that the house, they started, I went and looked it up, started building the house in 2018. And we're in mid-2023, and you're not even halfway close. I get the problem, but, I mean, you gotta be living somewhere else too. I get it, you know?
Yeah, I-
So, anyway, that's all I got.
And I'm on the same page, and 180 days, I'd like to see in 180 days what type of progress is done in 180 days to give us the determination whether we want to extend it or not. If we see 180 days and there's really nothing been done, it kind of defeats the purpose to extend it.
Yeah, all right. Well, I mean, you can come inspect it whenever you want.
Well, Josh is,
Josh?
Mhm.
Yeah, I can get with them and see where they are now. I don't even know where you guys are now, but, and even in 180 days, we can report back.
right, just kind of get a percentage of,
So can we go ahead and put it on the agenda at the first meeting in, what would that be?
6 months.
Mm-hmm, in 6 months. That
Okay.
way we'll have a automatic follow-up.
If he applies
Okay.
for an extension.
right, right.
Mhm, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, he has
It
to,
could
he
be
has
a
to apply
possible
for an extension to go
extension.
beyond that,
Yeah.
so.
mhm,
Okay.
that'd
All
be
right.
great.
Any other discussion? Let's go ahead and vote. Ward 1,
Yes.
2,
Yes,
3,
Yes.
4. Motion carries
Yes.
4-0. Thank you, Mr. Charles. Number 2, Joyce Moran, owner of properties commonly known as 100 and 102 East Meadow Lane, has made an application to split her lot. The property was originally 2 lots, therefore there are currently 2 living structures on the property. Proposed parcel 1 will need 100-foot street frontage variance since it will not be directly off the streets, but will use easement from parcel 2. Parcel 2 will need an 80-foot street frontage variance as it will have 20 feet of street frontage along East Meadow Lane. The recommendation from the Planning and Zoning Board was a unanimous yes to let us split the property.
I'll make the motion.
Ward 2 moves,
I'll second it.
Ward 3 seconds, discussion.
Yes. Is Ms. Moran here?
No.
Okay. I'm very familiar with all of this, and I've been out, talked with Ms. Moran numerous times. I've talked with Mr. Tommy a number of times. The one thing I want to assure you, Mr. Holzhauser, is that this does not affect or encroach upon your property in any way, shape, or form. This is strictly on the opposite side of that fence, of your fence, okay? So you're good. I had spoken with Ms. Moran, and I'd like to table this.
Okay.
She's not in a big hurry for this, and I would like to talk to her and see, because on the opposite side, in front of these two houses sit side by side, and the back house is landlocked. It's paved in front, and what I'd like to talk to her about and see if it would ease this situation is if she would give
away.
that piece of road, give it to us. That way, the road crew would have access to that house that's landlocked for utilities and anything that needs to be done in that way. And then I think it would make a difference with these variances as well.
Okay.
So if y'all don't mind, whoever moved, I'd like to take.
And my question on it was, I didn't see anything, all I seen was where it said at one point it was 2 parcels, but then it was joined. When did that take place?
Well, originally, East Meadow Lane went all the way through. That piece of East Meadow Lane was abandoned and given to that property there. So when they eliminated that, instead of those 2 houses, they owned property down East Meadow. So when that property was abandoned, they put 2 houses on it. So instead of the houses being side by side facing the street, now the street's gone. So they turned them the other direction, and that's what created the problem. So they had 1 parcel, they had 2 parcels, and a previous owner had joined those parcels. And now she's wanting to divide them because she wants to sell one of them.
So if you want to table it, you just need to amend your motion to approve to. motion to
I'll
table.
amend mine to a table.
Table.
I'll amend my second.
Bobby, second. All right, so we have a motion to table Ms. Moran's request. No further discussion, let's vote. Ward
Wait,
1.
Mr. Tommy has a question.
I've been living there for 50, okay?
Right here, Mr. Tom.
I've been living there, how you doing? I've been living there for 56 years. So, I'm the person that's been on the street the longest. Joyce's parents are the ones who had the houses put there. They owned the lots before. The other lot that they acquired when they did away with the road, they sold that.
Okay.
They had that. The houses are on the 2 lots, but there should have been 2 should have been, 2 lots facing East Meadow Lane. But they were put there as rental houses. One of them
You
came
get
out,
up to them.
they were put there as rental houses to start with. So they didn't care about a front yard. They wanted to rent them. They've been rented since '63, I think. One of them came out of the test site, and they put it there facing that way purposely. So I don't care which way she puts a line across her property. I just don't think she's entitled to messing with anybody else's property over. They've collected, as far as the sale of that little house, that's probably the least valuable house she owns out of the dozen or 2 that she owns.
Okay.
And those houses have been rented continually, and it's rented now. So
Yeah.
it's just trying to get something for nothing, the way I see it.
Right. All right, Mr. Tommy,
Thank you, Mr.
very
Tommy.
much.
Can I just make a correction? Ward 2 made the motion, Ward 3 second. So can we have Ward 2 amend and Ward 3?
Yeah, I'll amend my
Yeah,
motion.
these are mine.
All right,
Okay.
no further discussion. Let's go ahead and vote to table this. Ward 1,
Yes.
2,
Yes.
3,
Yes.
4.
Yes.
A motion's tabled. Item number 3, Raymond Langlois, owner of the property commonly known as 419 Waveland Avenue, has made an application for a variance in order to place an accessory storage shed closer to his property line. His request is for a 5-foot variance from the required 10 on the side property line and 10-foot variance from the required 15 rear property, as stated in ordinance 349, for accessory structures more than 12 feet away from the primary structure. This is to place the shed far away from a protected live oak tree. The planning and zoning board voted unanimously to give the variance. We have a motion.
I'll move.
I'll second it.
Ward 4 moves, Ward 3 seconds. Discussion.
I do, have a, this falls in the category of the one that we did a couple weeks ago.
Is Mr. Raymond here? Can you
And-
approach the mic, please?
And we decided that, we wouldn't give them 5-foot, we made it 10-foot on the back and 5 on the side.
The other way.
Verse.
I mean,
Oh.
vice versa, right. But, I don't wanna, we set a precedent then, and now we're changing it back to
Right.
this.
I agree.
You own the property to the south?
I own the property to the side, that's correct.
And the property line is empty, but the oak tree takes up the majority of our backyard.
Right.
So we're kind of at a loss as to where to put the building. Because
And you can't cut the
between the house and the tree, you know, we don't want to put it smack dab in the middle of our backyard where the kids play.
Right.
So we don't want to put it too close to the tree because then we don't want to harm the tree.
Is there a way to move it 5 feet further towards central, or is that gonna put it more on the live oak?
The live oak is actually facing Waveland Avenue, so.
The side part's probably not as much of a problem as the back.
Okay.
Because the tree sits, so we own both these lots, and the tree sits, the trunk of the tree is on the main property, 419, but the tree goes over into the side lot. And then the back portion of the tree was already damaged by Hurricane Zeta. So we're trying to, we're just trying to put it in that back corner, you know, so it's, the back part is probably more of the problem, you know, obviously than the side, because, there's just no other,
I don't
no
see it,
really other place to put it.
I don't see it on the, on what we was given as far as the map goes. Bo, is there a drainage easement behind those properties on Waveland Avenue? Because you know, they don't have drainage on the front. Most of those properties, as you get closer to the beach, they drain on the backside.
No, we have.
So we have,
we
there's
have
a ditch in the front,
Yours is in the front?
yeah, and then there's also between the two properties, they have like a gully, kind of. I mean, it's not like a ditch, but it's, you can tell that there's like a.
The ditch
what is that,
used to,
a swell, is that what it's called?
the ditch used to go all the way down, and then about 2-3 houses before you got to the beach, it would turn and go under Waveland Avenue.
419 before Phil. Yeah, 419
Yeah.
is closer to the
We're
track.
close to
Yeah.
the tracks.
Closer to the track.
I was just wondering if that would affect the rear any at all.
What are the dimensions of your lot?
It's 100 by 250 deep.
Oh, it's big.
That's the,
It's
pretty big.
It's
that's
big, but,
419.
you know, I don't know if you can see it on the.
It's pretty.
And y'all got
On
another
the
structure
thing.
behind the house already, right? A carport or something back there?
It's a covered patio.
Yeah.
That was there when we purchased the
Right.
property,
Yeah.
so,
I'm familiar
we
with the
already
lot.
have some other trees planted
Mhm.
behind that structure. I guess we could cut them down if
Well,
have to.
Alderman Richardson's suggestion is 10 feet from the rear, but 10 feet from the side.
Well,
5 foot from the.
the property in the back, is that basically, landlocked back there? There's no access
that's
to that?
Robert Street.
Okay, that's off of Robert
That's
Street.
Robert, so the guy, the person that owns that property is behind our property and then the property next door. And then the house next to them, they're kinda over, they already have all their garage, you know, so they're more to the beach side of their property. So it wouldn't be near any of their
So you own the property on the side,
450,
you own the property on the side that you're trying to
on the beach
do the
side,
variance?
yeah.
What is the structure on the opposite side along the property line?
The only other structure we have is the covered patio that's,
Behind, in the back.
so there's the house and then empty area, and then there's a covered patio.
I think he's asking about the one to the south.
Yeah, to the south.
We don't
Oh,
have.
that's on the other property, that's an old, you're talking about the old slab? from the-
I think that's all that is,
Is
just a
that a
slab.
slab? That's your
Yeah.
property also,
Yeah, it's
right?
Just correct.
It's just a slab.
Okay, so that,
That was, yeah, the old, where the old garage was from the previous owner.
okay, now that I see that the side yard is also his property too. Do you ever plan to sell the property next door, or do you, I mean,
We
My
don't
plan
have
is not
any
to sell it,
intention
my
to
plan
sell
is
it.
to pass it on down, and hopefully it'll stay in the family.
So it's two separate parcels.
It's two separate parcels. We just don't really at this point wanna combine them, like he said, because, you know, we have 3 children. I grew up here. It's a place that, you know, and I kicked myself because my parents owned the house across the street from us and wanted us to buy it a long time ago, and we didn't. So, you know, this is something that we really wanna
So-
keep for our grandkids.
so the chances are anybody besides your family would never own the property next door, it'll all be somebody in your
Well,
family's.
no, you're
All right.
correct.
Yeah,
And it's movable. If we ever had to move it, it's not gonna be a permanent structure. They told us, we asked that question because if we lock ourselves in, we may not have access. And, you know, it is, you know, a portable building, so they can move it if we ever had to move it.
So the final result's gonna be 5 foot from the side and 5 foot from the back.
yeah, I'm ready to vote.
So,
Is that your motion?
That's
I'll
what.
make a motion.
the
so 10
recommendation.
feet
That
from
was
the
the
side
recommendation.
is impossible because of the tree?
Yep, damn it.
No, she said they could move it 10 foot. from-
I mean,
she
the
said they
only
could
time
just-
I really worry about side setbacks is if you're intruding on someone else's property, but that's gonna be that's your property next to you, so I'm good with what planning and zoning does.
So is the
think
pending
it
motion
needs to
to
be
accept it as presented, or was
Yes,
the
yes,
that's
pending?
my motion.
Yeah, Bob changed his motion. So we're gonna go with the recommendation of planning and zoning, 5 feet from the side, 5 feet from the rear. Okay, any other discussion? Let's go ahead and vote. Ward
Hmm.
1,
Who made the second?
I did.
Shane did. Bobby?
Originally Jeremy made the motion, Shane seconded, and then Bobby, you're good with accepting, so the motion, second stand?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's go ahead and vote. Ward 1,
No.
Ward 2,
Yes.
Ward 3,
Yes.
Ward 4.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-1. Thank you very
And
much.
just so you know, the reason I voted no is because 10 feet from the side is what we did. That's the precedence we've set. And it wasn't going to be obstructing anything for you, and I just thought that was the appropriate thing to do. Just so you know. Just so you know.
I totally understand, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
very much.
Thank
All
you.
right,
Thank
thank you. Item number 4, Eugene Ferry Jr., owner of the property commonly known as 115 St. Joseph Street, has made an application for variance in order to split his lot into 3 parcels. Proposed parcels 1 and 2 will need a 70-foot street frontage variance, and proposed parcel 3 will need a 30-foot street frontage variance from the required 100-foot street frontage as stated in zoning ordinance 349. No variance is needed for square footage requirements on the proposed new parcels. The P and Z voted unanimously to move forward with the recommendation. Do we have a motion?
I'll move.
Ward 4 moves,
I'll second.
Ward 3 seconds, discussion.
The, so it looks like most of the variances are basically to access the properties, not frontage.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's,
Well, street frontage,
right.
yeah. But, yeah, the 3 access.
much street frontage is there currently?
Josh? John? John?
You got 30, 30, and 70, so,
Okay.
yeah, 130.
So the original parcel has 70-foot frontage, and it goes to the back, it kind of loops around. They bought that 60-foot wide right next door, so it's 130 that they have total now of street frontage.
Mr. Ferry, you can come on up.
So the original parcel was, I guess, the one that came in
70.
and went to the back, went behind the property to the,
This here.
Please state your name,
this one
please,
here,
for the record.
went here.
Good evening, my name is Eugene Ferry. Glad to be here.
Yeah,
And he bought this at 60 foot here.
yep.
Yeah. Sorry.
Any further discussion?
So originally the parcel went all the way behind all those properties, and then you picked up the 60 by 65, it looks like.
Yes, sir. After about a year of relentless effort, we were able to buy at an accelerated price something that was 4,000 square feet, but it was transformational for what it's allowing us to hopefully do here today. And there is nothing else available. They had 3 dysmorphic lots available. One with a full acre off the street with 70 feet of frontage, one that was 60 by 65, and there's one to the south that's available, and then the whole side of the subdivision is fully subscribed. And I tried to call on that one as well, and it doesn't meet any of the metrics either. They were all non-conforming, and I told the gentleman, thank you, but I do not have the financial wherewithal to buy a $200,000 driveway.
But that's
Even-
basically what the variances are for, is for the driveways.
Yes, sir. Yeah, each of the home sites is in excess of 13, 14, 15,000 square feet. And, one of them is 70 by 200, which is, beautiful straight, you see it. The next one would have a straight line driveway of 30 feet wide, going back to a 16,000 square foot home site. And the other one would be my own personal, permanent residence as we move to the city of Waveland. And it would be there tucked in right behind Beach Boulevard. And, so this is the only way that I could do it without, having a landlocked lot or something like that to, make the most efficient, reasonable use of the space, because the lots that I'm proposing are just a slight premium to all of the lots in the subdivision right now. Most of the lots in the subdivision that have built within the last 10 years are 9,000 to 11,000 square feet. These are all slightly larger than that. But if I can only do 2 houses, then on average, each one of these would be 25,000 square feet, or potentially one would be 15,000 and one would be almost 40,000 square feet. And I just said, that doesn't fit. Well, I don't want to do that to my neighbors. We're looking forward to living here and chasing our dreams. So that's pretty much where we're at.
Chief Carver, can you come up front, please? Come to the mic, please. What do you think is the minimum required frontage to get a fire truck? I mean,
I'd have to check on it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, the proposed plan now is 30 feet, and the one that actually does make the turn, when it makes the turn, that is 35 feet wide.
I think that's plenty.
okay,
I want to say around 21.
okay. I just wanted to check that out.
Yeah, no, thank you, that's a great question. I would love to know, because we're really looking forward to this.
Here's the problems that face us. We've set a precedence in this situation, exact same situation on Hoffman Street. Wanted a 70-foot variance for a 30-foot driveway. It was turned down. My concern, here's the other problem. There isn't a piece of property that's been approved, to my knowledge, and I pay attention, with less than 50-foot front feet. There's not a single one. There's no precedence set in the city of Waveland for front footage of only 30 feet. Everything is a minimum of 50.
No, I appreciate that. We simply bought everything that was available. You know, back in the Drake maps, you know, when the city was nice and beautiful and everything was open, you know, but, you know, here we are a century later, and, you know, I can only try to put together the oddball dysmorphic pieces and try to make the best thing from it. And, you know, I honestly feel like I've taken two non-functional pieces of property and turned them into something beautiful. You know, I mean, that really is my, you know, that is my contention.
Where you have the two driveways, two 30-footers, was there any way between those, the one that goes back and turns, is there any way to make one access all the way down and then make your turn into the property over to the south?
I don't think I'm fully comprehending what you're saying.
As far as this one here, driveway and driveway, correct?
Yes, sir.
Is there any way to, I know there's gonna be a property here and a property there,
Yeah.
have one access point instead of two separate driveways?
Oh, and just branching off?
And branching off.
Perfect. Yeah, no, I didn't, I apologize for not thinking of that, but yeah. I mean,
that's
so
just
essentially, so I could just
well, you
offer
wouldn't
that
have
as a
to
shared
have-
easement?
Yeah.
Or something like that?
You wouldn't have to have
One
such a
driveway.
variance.
And then one,
But, you know, I came here, you know, hoping that you guys would provide solutions, and, yeah, I'm grateful, I'm grateful to.
If that, I
to
mean,
that.
it would make it a lot easier on decision wise.
And that's, and I like easy, you know.
It would make
So-
access easier.
Yeah.
so you could just withdraw your request and resubmit it under that plan here
Would it
And-
cost me another month?
and not have to go, well,
I mean,
to
we're
get,
a
to
year
get
and
the
a half
drawings,
to this
to get the
point.
drawings and,
I mean, how would we expedite that? Cause he's ready to,
We are waiting on, yes.
you could approve it subject to submission of the revised drawings and revised plan, to the effect of what you just described.
okay.
And then he wouldn't have to come back another meeting, but you would have to do the revised plans and bring them back.
And all of the.
Because you're gonna need surveys for that anyway to do it.
So
So you would just go ahead and get those surveys depicting it with the shared driveway
and so the nice thing is.
and bring it back.
Yeah, so the nice thing is that is actually a single piece that I bought, that's 60 by 65.
Yes.
So if I put that 60 by 65, it's like 12, whatever it is, and said that is gonna be a single, you know, combined driveway, then I can do that, and I have to come up with a subdivision plan
Whoever your
for the rest of it.
surveyor is, that's gonna
Okay.
do all that for you anyway, just have them revise it showing that shared driveway and bring that back.
Okay.
All of
Thank you
the,
again.
all of the notifications and all that, would it still be, that would still be good since it's not
Yeah, because
changing?
you're actually approving something less restrictive and more
Okay.
favorable to the area than what was initially done. So you're actually lessening the effect.
Right.
Yeah, I'm petitioning for a much smaller
Correct.
variance. Thank you very much.
Much better,
It is, yeah.
much better.
I thought I had a great design, but that one is really superior, so.
There's one other problem. There's a requirement on here that he have 3 Mississippi stamped engineer drain
Right.
plans.
Right, I was gonna bring that up
You-
after the vote. I was gonna bring that up after the vote. I've gotten
You-
calls.
you
I
can-
watched the planning and zoning meeting. I've gotten calls from neighbors. And I know you addressed it at the planning and zoning meeting. You're the bowl right there.
Yes, people are worried about flooding, and I am the bulk,
and-
I'm the low.
A lot of the neighbors called and they're not against you moving in this property. They just wanna make sure, you know.
They don't want me to build
You
3
don't
houses
put-
with crowns.
And that would
Exactly.
come,
Yeah.
That would be a requirement that you would have to place on before he would be allowed to start
To get
any
building
development or
permit.
any building.
Right, but
he
would,
have to
I
do.
mean,
That would
that
not
would be
a part of
up
what
to
you're doing
Josh,
tonight.
right?
That would be a
We
Correct.
don't have to put that restriction
No.
on him, Josh will take care of that.
That's correct.
Because that, I mean, yeah. There's no sense in us doing his job. He knows more about all that than we do.
Yeah, I met Josh at the property.
It's already a requirement
Your
before
water
he
doesn't
can
go to the
build.
neighbor.
Mhm.
Drainage problem.
So
Okay.
what's the reword?
So how we wanna reword that?
So what you can do is you can,
Can we table it for a revision?
agree to, agree to table the recommendation, but accept, the revised request for a single shared driveway, subject to submission of the architectural drawings, or the survey drawings, depicting it on the plot.
All right, y'all got that motion?
Mhm.
Yeah, it wasn't cheap, but it's great, it's a great driveway.
That's why he gets paid the
That's
big
right.
bucks.
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
Thank you.
let's go ahead and vote. Ward 1,
Yes.
Ward 2,
Yes.
3,
Yes.
4.
Yes.
All right, motion carries 4-0 with the provisions that the city attorney mentioned. All right, moving on to number 5, Suzette Cervic, owner of the property commonly known as 226 Sandy, has made an application for the temporary use of an RV during new construction of a primary residence. The RV permit will allow occupancy for 180 days.
Now move.
I'll second.
Ward 3 moves, Ward 4 seconds, any discussion?
Will that be the same as, the ordinance where the slab has to be in or the foundation before the?
This house is almost.
It's already done?
Miss
Oh,
Irving,
okay.
this house is almost complete.
Oh, well, good.
I mean, the exterior, yeah,
Okay.
okay. Please state your name for the record.
I'm Suzette Surbeck. The house is moving along very well. The siding will probably be going up next week. It's all framed inside. We're just anxious to get to a point where we will be moving there so my husband can tinker around and help the finishing touches. It will be done, I was told, by the contractor in November.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's a beautiful home, I looked at it today.
Thank you. Love it.
Any further discussion? All right, let's go ahead and vote. Ward 1,
Yes.
2,
Yes.
3,
Yes.
4.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you so
ma'am.
much.
Thank you. Tom and Joel Stone, owners of the property commonly known as 115 Molaire Drive, have made an application for variance in order to place an accessory structure closer to their property lines. The request is for a 10-foot variance from the required 25-foot rear setback from the property line and, okay. This will make their rear setback 15 feet from the property line. The planning and zoning voted unanimously, made a recommendation that we accept this variance.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Ward 2 moves, Ward 3 seconds, any discussion?
Hold on a sec.
The Stones here? Oh, there you go. You lost so much weight, I didn't recognize you. Come on in. Just in case they have any questions.
Hi, Tom Stone.
Just 110 feet.
I don't have any questions, Mayor.
No question.
Any
I
discussion?
don't either.
Okay. All right, let's go ahead and vote. Ward 1.
Yes.
Ward 2.
Yes.
Ward 3.
Yes.
Ward 4.
Yes.
Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you.
All right, Tom. Item number 7, Gary Ponche and Casey Edwards, owners of the property commonly known as 118 Seabrook, have made an application for conditional use in order to construct an accessory structure larger than the allowed maximum 500 feet. They are requesting a 5-foot left side yard variance from the required 10 feet property line and a 5-foot rear yard variance from the required 15. This proposed structure will be 1,200 square feet and have a 5-foot setback from the left and 10-foot setback from the rear. The zoning and planning voted unanimously to grant this variance, excuse me. Have a motion.
I'll move.
Ward 3 moves.
I'll second.
Ward 4 seconds. Discussion.
Gary, how
Whoop,
much,
whoop, whoop, whoop.
Oh,
You
sorry.
state your name.
Gary Pache.
I stated his name.
Construction at 118 Seabrook.
So how much of that 1,200 square feet is going to be enclosed?
Approximately 300 square foot.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an open carport that's gonna match the house, metal roof, siding, it'll be painted to match the house, and mainly it's for, to put the boat under, get the boat out of the driveway and to store the boat. We're gonna enclose a little part of it on the side for a shed, and that's it, but it'll be about 300 square foot.
Gary, can you live with moving that building over 5 more feet from the left side?
I could, it would just make it tight for the shed and the boat, that's all, and a car to pull under there. I talked to my neighbor John, who's got the lot on side of me, and he has no issues with it, cause he just got he's at 120 Seabrook, and he's gonna have that variance there for the abandonment, so he had no issues with it after talking with him on the side, so I just met with him tonight, so he had no issues whatsoever about it.
So the abandonment would, from today,
In essence,
tonight,
create-
is on the
Yes, it's on
opposite side of you?
me, yes, ma'am. Well, my lot's here, his lot's here, and an abandonment's right next
Right.
to him. So he wants to move his house over just a little bit more, but both of our driveways are gonna be on like the same side.
So he's gonna get a buffer by moving over?
Right.
So he has not built, it's an empty lot, right?
It's an empty lot right now, he's starting in about 2 weeks.
Gotcha.
We're gonna be going at the same time.
So your boat would be parked on the, basically the property line side?
Yes,
Correct.
it'll be on the driveway
be the
side,
open
straight
area.
back, right, which is gonna be his driveway side also.
What I like about it is that the enclosed part of the 1,200 square feet
It's
is,
on the other
it's
side.
only
It's on the other
300,
side,
right?
right.
It's only 300. I'm gonna tell you where, the only thing I have a problem with is 5 feet up on the property line. Consistently, we voting, you gotta have 10 feet on that side property line. I mean, it's just not fair to your neighbors. It's fair to your neighbor right now, cause you got a situation where he's moving over. Not always gonna, that's not always gonna be the situation, and I'm gonna give you a prime example. That East Meadow Lane situation, we're in that situation today because of an abandonment and variances that were given a long time ago. So when you give a variance, it's okay for today, it may be okay for 20 years, it may be okay for 50 years, one day it may be a problem. I just think that 10 feet on the side is fair.
Gary, how much did he just gain from that abandonment on the other side of his property?
He got 25 of the
Additional.
50.
Yeah,
Yeah, he got 25.
I think you
additional
give you
25 feet.
What's on the other
You
side?
move him over.
But he hasn't started building yet, no?
No, but what I'm saying though is the abandoned is to the left.
Right, but he just got 25 extra feet of his property line.
Yeah.
Frontage, right? It's on
Right.
the road frontage?
Yeah, he's already got 95 foot, mine's at 90, so the lot's a little bit different side. Mine's at 90, his is at 95, but he just gained the abandonment.
Another
Which-
25.
Right, another,
Yeah.
Over.
so he'll be able to
It'll be
move his
over
house
5
and
feet.
everything way
In
over.
everybody's house.
Yeah, he'll have 120 feet.
Mhm. But like I said, he had no issue with it, so,
Yeah.
I don't, I know it's a little bit tighter than what your normal, but, it's, trying to get my boat out of the driveway and out of the front of the house into a nice enclosed area.
All right, any further discussion? All right, let's vote. Ward 1.
We don't want to amend to move to do 10 feet instead of 5, huh?
And the way I look at it, I mean, your accessory structure is basically the 300 square foot, that's my opinion. You basically open air on the part that you're wanting to put 5 foot, so.
Which way's the water runoff though?
That's my
The roof, on the
thought.
roof line,
Your roof
because that's
line.
where you get into the problem with the 5 feet.
With the,
Yeah, everything is high on the back end, and it'll run towards Seabrook, and then everything runs from up towards the tracks down south. So my back corner of the lot, and I think they just dug another swell on that abandonment, but everything runs from that top swell going towards Seabrook. So I already have one swell between my other neighbors.
I think you were asking about the runoff from the roof?
For the roof.
From the roof of the accessory
where the
structure.
roof's- The roof line.
when you get close to the property line and your roof drains that way, you're putting water on your neighbor's property.
I think it is front to back, but let me check.
If you're 5 feet from the fence line, then you have your overhang on your roof, you're almost just kind of draining right onto his.
Hip roof?
It doesn't show here.
Okay, so it will be draining front to back. It's gonna be flat on the side like the house is, so there'll be no water going toward the property line. It's either gonna go straight to the back or straight to my driveway. I have a copy of the plan submitted with Josh,
Good job. Okay.
but I have it pulled up also. So there's no water. It's a flat side, just like my house is on that side. It's a flat side on that property.
But you're only gonna be 5 feet from the back too, right?
No, we moved the whole thing up.
10.
Did
10
you?
feet off
To
the
10
back.
feet, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So we're gonna be 10 feet off the back and 5 feet off the side.
All right? Y'all ready to vote? Let's go ahead and vote. Ward 1.
Gary, I love you, but I gotta stick with what I do. I like everything you're doing, except I'd rather have 10 feet on the side than 5, so I gotta say no.
Ward 2.
Yes.
Ward 3.
Yes.
Ward 4.
Yes.
Motion carries 3-2.
Thank y'all.
And Ron, I like the 10-foot too, but I think every.
I know.
You have to look at,
I know.
Mayor, can I make since we don't have a number 8 on there, since that request was withdrawn,
yes,
can I make a recommendation? And I know we've talked about it a little bit. Can we workshop some of this variance information as far as request goes, review the ordinance? Can we call a workshop and let all of us get in there and
More on the same
put
page.
everybody's heads together and figure out what everybody's, I guess, where
Yeah.
everybody stands on what they want, what they,
Yeah, I think it's
Willing
past
to-
due, yeah.
yeah. All right, y'all wanna do it next week?
I mean, just something,
Bobby's available Monday, he said.
just something so we can get a little more uniform.
I'm available
and-
Monday. How about you guys?
I'm looking to see.
Monday the 7th?
On Monday or on the next week, all week the next week.
I'm good Monday.
I'm good Monday.
Okay, everybody's good Monday.
How about 5:30?
I'm good with that.
Okay, all right, we need a motion.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Yeah, and you may want to set it as a special meeting for the sole purpose of discussing zoning ordinance issues, just in case there's any action you want to take. You
Okay.
can take action if you call it as a
All right, well,
special meeting.
On that motion, just make it a special meeting, Mayor.
Okay. Who made the motion?
I did,
I did.
And Jerry.
Ron made the
second.
motion.
Jerry.
Ward 4 second, to have a special meeting on Monday at 5:30, right here in the
And
boardroom.
Mayor, the planning and zoning, the ordinances for, I mean, we're not gonna go through sign ordinances and all that.
No,
Let's just go through
Strictly-
straight variance for,
right, probably.
property and also, accessory structures.
Okay.
Because I know that's a big thing. That's what I'm saying, the accessory structures where a lot of people's asking for more than
Variance,
the 500 square foot,
variances and conditional uses.
basically, yeah. I'd just like for us all to get on the same page.
All right, let's go ahead and vote. Ward 1,
Yes.
2,
Yes.
3,
Yes.
4.
Yes.
Motion carries. Monday, 5:30, right here. Okay, item 8, like Alderman LaFontaine mentioned, has been withdrawn, so we are on to consent agenda. Motion to approve the following consent agenda items numbered A through J. We had an addition. J is extend the hours of the Hot Rods and Hospitality Street Fair from 2 PM to 6 PM on Wednesday, October 4th, 2023.
I'll move.
I'll second that, but I don't see J on the agenda, though.
No, that's what I said, I just
Yeah.
read it.
Oh, you added it?
We just added, we just added. You want me to read it again?
No, I mean, I know what it was
Jane.
for.
Okay, okay. All right, so Ward 1 made the motion, Ward 3 second, to accept the consent agenda as is. Any discussion? All right, let's go ahead and vote. Ward 1?
Yes.
Ward 2?
Yes.
3?
Yes.
4. Motion
Yes.
carries 4-0. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll second.
Ward 3 moves, Ward 1 seconds. Meeting's adjourned.
They didn't vote.
We didn't vote on that.
They
Yay,
have to vote.
yes.
Oh, we voted.
Yes.
1, 2,
Yes.
3, 4.
Yes.
Motion
Yes.
carries 4-0. 4-0.